Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to episode number 6. We're on double hands, I guess you could say. Welcome back to number 6 of COVID-19 and the impact that it has on the body, specifically body systems. Today we are talking about the respiratory system. Now, the respiratory system is pretty important. I'm about to explain why. So, what the respiratory system is, what the function of this system is, that it actually controls our breathing. I want to be sure I say this correctly because I do not want to mess anything up, but especially this system. The function of the respiratory system, of course, I'm going to read the exact definition. The function of the respiratory system is a network of different kinds of organs and tissues that help a person to breathe. Now, the reason why I read that is because I did not want to say anything wrong. Now, every breath, intake, inhale, exhale, that is all respiratory system. That is our chest. That includes the lungs, everything like that. Now, just to let you know, in our respiratory system, there is something called a respiratory tract, and it's like this tube, and it includes, I want to make sure I don't get this wrong either, it includes the trachea, which is our windpipe, and then the alveoli, I believe, which is like this little air sacs at the bottom of our lungs, and that helps with intake on breathing as well. So, of course, that's the function of the respiratory system. Now, what does COVID do to the respiratory system? Now, COVID-19, if you look at it, it is technically a respiratory disease. So this system is like pretty much impacted, from the jump, like that. So what happens when COVID enters the respiratory system, what ends up happening actually is that there's not really much to be done off the jump, off the start of things. Of course, COVID enters the system, and it's a lot of chaos because there's a respiratory tract. It's like a tube connecting from your windpipe to the bottom of your lungs. When COVID enters this, it causes this tube, if you will, to become inflamed. And that's where shortness of breath comes into play. You've heard a lot of people have the symptoms of not being able to breathe so well, or it hurts when they breathe. It could be in a mild case or a very severe case. Either way, it just depends on how bad their respiratory tract is inflamed and how in-depth COVID really is into their respiratory system. Actually, the COVID-19 virus can actually pass through one of the alveoli, or the little air sacs, and that's where a lot of your actual lungs themselves become really inflamed, and it's a lot of pain. And honestly, not being able to breathe is one of the worst things, especially if you have asthma. It's horrible. And of course, like I've said in previous episodes, if you have asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, anything related to your chest area, you are at a higher risk of getting something like this. And yes, it's sad to say, but it's just how it works. And actually, it is said that the virus also does come in contact with our mucous membranes, and this mucous membranes include our eyes, nose, and mouth, of course, that general area as well. And it actually begins to infect any nearby cells around it, and that's basically where the COVID just expands and expands and expands and works its way out of the respiratory system, continuing to demolish anything in its path. Like, COVID's serious stuff. It's a lot of carnage. It really is. So, of course, now some symptoms of this include a very dry cough, a sore throat, and a harshness when breathing. Now, that is because your trachea, your windpipe gets messed up. It's where the throat becomes sore. A dry cough because when it's inflamed, so it's like a really hot feeling. And when it's really hot, of course, you need liquid. You need some fluid to make it, better, cool it down. So that's why you have such a dry cough. There's not really much coming up. There's no mucus because of that inflamed respiratory tract that I said a little bit ago. And then the harshness when breathing, that's just trying to breathe in general with everything being inflamed. It often hurts to take in air and breathe out air as well. It's a lot. Now, I know this is a lot to take in. I know it's like, what the world's going on. But there are, like it says here, there are certain things that can be done to get the virus out of your body. Some of these things actually include breathing exercises, as long as as you get permission from your doctor. Some things you should do is try to sit back like this. Maybe you can put your hands on your head and just, simply just, and go from there. Simple stuff like that. You're working everything out, so everything will eventually go away. Drink plenty of water as well. That's another one. And let me see, that's a good one. And then actually breathing will help you with stress and anxiety. Just taking a deep breath. That was one of the biggest things that I actually found out that I actually really loved and enjoyed. So it's one of the biggest things. And then there's different medications prescribed to you. That is a personal conversation you will need to have with your doctor just to see how your system personally is affected by this virus. Like I said, it's different for everyone. And then, of course, stay on a healthy diet. Feed your body things that you know will benefit from. That's the main thing to do. That's really all there is you can do. Of course, continue to fight off this disease. Do the best you can and stay safe. Just stay safe. So, of course, hope you guys are enjoying these. That concludes episode number 6. Of course, these episodes are really quick, easy, and to the point. I want these videos to be short only because I want to get to the point, and I want you guys to be able to understand it, not from a scientific standpoint, but from your average everyday standpoint. So I'm not using big terms. I want people to be able to comprehend this stuff and take this information with you. Please, please, please do. So stay safe, wear a mask, watch what you touch, and wash your hands. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching. We're going to get into episode 7. Peace.